Yo, you already know who it is. It's your boy at I am Eddie Jackson. We here live in the director's den for another one. This is episode 11. Look, I just want to say I'm truly beyond thankful for everybody that's been rocking with us. I'm truly beyond just grateful for the platform and for the ones that have came before us and the ones that's coming after us. As y'all know, I'm definitely a firm believer in being that middle child. Make sure you're being groomed and make sure you're grooming somebody. Today's guest, listen, I always say it's a fire one. I always say it's a fire one. This one's definitely fire, bro. It's a big treat to be able to have these guys it's a big treat to have these guys in the director's den. Y'all know I gotta do a bio. And even though this is on the couch segment and we're not highlighting just one specific person, I still had to do it for my guys because it's only right, man.
My God.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special episode of On the Couch segment. Today we have the privilege of hosting two remarkable individuals who are not only pioneers in the entertainment industry, but also pillars of faith and community. Please join me in welcoming Rick and Reese, two influential figures known for their unwavering dedication to spreading joy and passion through their platform. The Rick and Reese Show, with Rick as an associate pastor at the City of Grace, and Reese, a fellow minister at the same church, exemplify in a harmonious blend of faith, family, and professional pursuits. And that's what we're here today to talk about. Together, they bring a unique perspective on balancing life's most important aspects while staying true to their calling and purpose. In this enlightening episode, we will delve into their insights on maintaining faith, nurturing family bonds, and pursuing passion in a dynamic world of entertainment. Join me in extending a warm welcome to my guests, my friends, my brothers, family, Rick and Reese. What's going on, family?
What's
good?
Go. Hey,
man.
Next time I gotta preach.
Yeah.
I don't want Rick to introduce me. I don't want Pastor Mike to introduce me. I'm ready, EJ,
Hey, man,
to introduce
from the director's den, man.
We try to keep it real Shannon Sharp like right here,
He had me blushing over here, man.
Shannon done kept the ante up here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you gotta really come with it for real.
Right.
Harmonious. I was like this. I started adjusting myself.
Reese
like,
thought he had to preach. He thought he had to preach, man.
Fellas, what's going on, man? How's everything been with y'all?
Man, we've been busy, man, but everything been good.
I see. What's new? What's new with the Rick and Reese Show? What's new in y'all's lives personally?
Man, we I think when we first collabed some years ago, when we stepped in and you had to do some stuff for us, man. We was on WVKO at that time. But, man, we've been fortunate enough, man, to be able to elevate, man. We on Joy 107.1 FM now.
Congrats.
So
that's
appreciate
major.
Super salute.
Shout out to Joy 107.1 here in the city.
100%.
Absolutely.
That's a huge deal. We know that vehicle, you know what I mean? So we know that's a big vehicle in the city to really pushing the gospel, you know what I mean? So to have the opportunity to be on there, man, is phenomenal. And then too, man, we just been grinding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just trying to stay, man,
That's what it's
relevant.
about, bro.
Right.
That's what it's
stay
about.
relevant.
Yeah. Y'all been around for a long time, man. And not saying that y'all old, but like we just talk about like, seasoned veterans. I know you guys had the Rick and Reese Show at one point in time and then you stepped away.
Absolutely.
We'll talk a little bit more about that. But what I would love to hear from, each one of you is just kind of share a little bit about yourself and your past and kind of, where you came from and what kind of motivated you to step into this entertainment world.
Man, I just start, everything is a testimony with me, man. You know, I was kind of, I'm from here, Columbus, Ohio, east side, man, single parent home. Right there on Livingston and out south, man. I grew up out there, man. So, it's kind of rough. It was kind of rough, man. I went to South High School, Played football. Football was my vehicle to get me out of the neighborhood or out of the trenches, I always say. And got a scholarship to Akron University.
Go Zips.
Go Zips. Played football for them for like 4 years. Graduated with a mass media communications degree.
Okay.
Came back here, married my high school sweetheart. And really, man, what really shifted me or changed my trajectory, man, really was, giving my life to Christ. And after I gave my life to Christ, I started studying the scriptures, man, and I started growing. And, it was Bishop Watkins gave me a platform to start preaching. Make a long story short, collab with this guy. They invited us on the radio show. And when we was on the radio show, a guy noticed us and said, man, y'all need your own show. Mm-hmm. And we like, we're going to call it Kingdom Connections with Rick and Reese.
So that was the original.
That was the original Kingdom Connection with Rick and Reese because they invited us
on the radio.
Yeah, on the radio.
So y'all not new to this radio.
Well, it was internet radio.
Internet radio. Okay.
And they asked us. They said, y'all need your own show because they really brought us on because we was preachers.
Right.
But they didn't know that we was hilarious. We was out of the box, cool, down to earth. So when they seen that we was joking, they like, man, y'all need your own show.
Right.
So
ain't nothing like blending faith with really good personality for real.
That's good. I like how you
know
that.
It's the dopest thing out.
Right.
Like, I feel like some of the best personalities, obviously, that we see are, especially in the ones that are in, faith, Christians, pastors, ministers.
Right.
I feel like some of those is like the best people to almost listen to and almost receive.
Yeah.
Just that solid information. Because, for one, the foundation that they're standing on. Mm-hmm. But then you also recognize that this dude can be real with me, too. You know what I mean?
Right. It's that charismatic. It's that charisma. Sometimes. That charisma. Shout out to charisma culture.
Shameless plug.
And it's funny you said it, man. See, a lot of leaders got charisma. That's why people are attracted and they follow, some people. Yeah. So, to your point. But that's it, though, man. Kingdom Connections with Rick and Reese. We got advice from my guy, Quan Howe. I don't know if you're familiar with Quan Howe. That's my guy. Yeah, he said, man, y'all need to drop the Kingdom Connection and just be Rick and Reese, give you a little broader.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I said, what?
Yeah. Instead of putting yourself almost like funneling in a box.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I thought that was great advice. Reese, we talked about it, and we said, you know what, let's do it.
Right.
And, here we go.
We fought over whose name would go first, you know what I mean?
Was that a thing? We fought over was that a thing? No, for real, because in most groups, especially when you got names.
Right.
With us it wasn't, though, because it had a better flow. Like, Rick and Reese had a better flow
than Reese and Rick. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was all good.
Yeah, Plus, they got Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So it flowed better.
Flow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We had little jabs back and forth being funny, but our relationship, though.
I came out 2 seconds before you.
You little bro, it's all about me.
You know how them twins be. They be like, man, I came out before you, man. Sit down.
Right. This really my show. I just let you come on.
Hey, going back and forth.
We always go back and forth, man.
Though, man. What makes you? Up. But it's all love, though.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. It's crazy. Me and my wife, we're gearing up for our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, it's big time.
And
salute.
Dog, we doing the invites. And she put on one of them. It was like Megan and Eddie Jackson. I was like, hold up.
He want that name first, huh?
I've been signing mine, Eddie and Megan. she like, right. I don't know. I seen it, and this is. I was like, See, I see you trying to get your little first off.
Right. Is that tradition? Is that tradition? Right. We don't never get to plan and stuff in our weddings, man. That's all about them in the wedding.
Dude, at all.
That's a whole nother podcast right there, man.
Well,
what about you?
Man, similar, story. Obviously, man, we're in the same family. Our mom's is sisters, so we first cousins.
I never knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
We first cousins, but we was raised as brothers, though.
I never knew that. I just thought y'all was just best friends.
Oh, nah, this is my blood cousin from we a couple months apart in age.
That's
our
crazy.
moms and
I
sisters.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
And so we've been raised together. We were always at each other's house staying at night. That whole gamut, our whole life. So we always say, like the Rick and Reese show, we've been doing the Rick and Reese show since we was 4 or 5.
Without the cameras.
Without the cameras. You know what I mean? We've been close, like, you know what I mean? So a lot of people who don't know we family think we best friends because that's kind of the lifestyle. But we grew up in the same neighborhood. But my story was just a little different than his because I really had to, once you always say it was the hood outside the house, but when I went in the house and shut the door, it was the Huxtables.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Mom and dad.
Structure.
Married, structure, street lights on. You know what I mean? He was a little freer. Yeah,
my whole life went a little. It was
stayed out a little later.
Look, my mom passed when I was 12. When I moved in with my dad, I realized life don't got too many boundaries.
Right. I ain't have no boundaries. They like, hold up, cousin Rick coming over. I ain't have no boundaries.
So did you find yourself in the same situations as Rick?
I did because typical. We talk about it now with this generation, like. That wasn't my life. His life wasn't my life. And I should have embraced the fact that I had mom, a dad, married for 43 years, solid foundation.
That's crazy.
But I spent the whole time looking out the window like, I want his life. You know what I mean? I want his freedom, but not really understanding fully what all came with that, the emotions behind that, and the fact that he wanted my structure.
Yeah, I'm looking at him like, bro, you don't want this.
Yeah. And so
I want what you got.
I was making the mistake that most kids make, man, a lot of times, man, when you got, structure at home, you feel like you less than. It's weird. It's crazy, but you feel less than the ones that don't got the structure, able to rip and run.
It is
and
weird.
so
I think it's just, I think sometimes it's like empathy for a person. Like you can empathize with somebody so much to where you almost start like wanting to put yourself in their shoes just so that they don't have to be alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that I feel like I've done in the past that I didn't realize until I got older. You know what I mean? Like you get a little bit older, you like, dang, like why was I going through that? What, you know what I mean? Like why?
Right.
I went with little Tony and them guys. You know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of it was just because they're your friends or family, and you just trying to relate. You know what I mean? Like you trying to be relatable. Absolutely. Because we know in the streets there's definitely that separation. Right. They know you got Huxtables at the house.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you trying to fit into their lane.
Yeah.
And they like,
see,
so then you got to go harder.
Yeah.
To like, cause they're not gonna take you serious.
Yep.
See, Reese was connected to me, so he got grandfathered in the streets. He got grandfathered in, so they embraced him. Man.
Rick, I'm starting to think Rick was the real. I'm about to do my Google on Rick.
I love that you jumped on that, man. Because they look at him now as the pastor.
Hey, look, man, most of the ones that got them big smiles, bro. They just like deceive you, like you been through some things, and you a pastor. So I know everything coming from a deep connection.
Hey, I'm telling you. Hey, much given, much required. I'm telling you.
So really, man, because of our bond, and like we all grew up in the same neighborhood. Like our whole family was streets apart. I'm on Ellsworth, he on Linwood, that whole South Side. We all lived out there, but. I always was trying to get to his house because I knew if I can just get to his house, he get to go to parties.
No boundaries.
Yeah, he going to house parties. The stuff that he going to house parties. I got to come in the house. He able to stay out. He can go to the rec center and far walking without, you know what I mean? So I knew when I went over there, I'm catching the bus over there. When I get over there, I'm like a kid in a candy store where to him it's everyday life, but to me it's like so exciting and we doing this and doing that.
Come over my house, get his first kiss, and from a girl, you know what I mean?
Right. That's why you in the house like, hey mama, what we doing this weekend?
Right.
Can I go to Rick's?
Right. And I'm carrying him like, no, you can't go over
like
there.
she live down the street from Rick.
I'm going over there every weekend. And truth be told, we say it all the time, man, it's funny. Because we always clown, man. I call him my son, man. He calls me his son. We clowning. But a large part of the stuff, man, when we was teens and went through, I mean, a large part of it was stuff that I was exposed to when I did. I left the Huxtables, baby. Yeah. I'm in the trenches. And so I'm I'm seeing firsthand, drugs and partying and girls. So now that stuff is becoming me because I'm going over there a lot.
Right.
And now I'm taking that back to the Huxtables and getting in trouble.
It's crazy how like quick it just that jumps on you. That's why they tell you stay on the porch.
Right.
And then I'm going back home. Well, now I got rules and everything, but I ain't feeling that. You know what I mean? So I navigated through, man, the best way that I could, but still trying my best to be attached to just the street life, the party and the girls, and so it came with a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? I was a
But
knucklehead.
them sports though, they saved us.
But yeah, playing basketball, man, was like the
So you
saving
hoop.
grace. Once I got to
And you played football.
Yeah,
once
and I
I got
hoop
to
too.
high
Oh,
school.
you hoop too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, once I got to high school, man, then my focus kind of shifted to like heavy basketball, and then it just turned into a female.
And you went to South too?
Nah, I moved from out there my freshman year. I moved up to off of Schrock Road and got bused to Westerville South.
Oh, okay.
So I went to Westerville South High School.
Okay.
I went to, you know what I mean? I was in Columbus City Elementary and Middle, and then I went to Westerville South in high school. So I got the best of both worlds, man, the way I look at it, because I was able to really, like, you know, experience the trenches, and, you know what I mean, I was able to experience the suburban life and find that balance that worked for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah, I think that's like major for me. It was a super game changer coming out to Pickerington.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up off of Fifth Avenue in the Viaduct, and you know, that's like, you know, I was born in '90. You know what I mean? So like, you know, coming up on first, like, you know, that first decade of my life, like, why we always on the flow?
Yeah.
Why, mama?
Right.
Hey, daddy, why we always on the flow? You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
good.
and not really understanding, you know, and then like, you know, my mother passed when I was 12, and you know, I got shot when I was 12, and my dad just was like, yo, he pulled up one day and was like, yo, we're going out to Pickerington. You know, I ain't know what a Pickerington was, bro. I ain't going to cap with you. Didn't know what a Pickerington was. We came out here. We went from a 800 square foot home that my dad owned that he grew up in. You know, he went to school with Buster Douglas and a lot of those guys. He went to Linden. And, you know, we go out here and this is big old 5,000, 6,000 square foot home, own bedrooms, everything, you know what I mean? And, you know, it really just gave me that sense that, like, this is what making out the hood look like. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot of homies, man, that's, like, either dead or in jail. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, my dad used to always say, you going to make it out the hood. Everybody makes it out the hood.
Right.
How you making it out, though?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's just great to just see like two brothers that came up, you know, in that environment and made it out, you know what I mean? And still proud to rep the environment, you know, because some people make it out and they like, they don't even want you to know nothing about that past. What you know, remember dude on ATL, he's like, come on, dog, you from this child. I ain't with
Right. See, man, some of us, man, we got to be resilient, man. You know what I mean? How we make it out. When you're born in certain situations, and to just make it out, graduate from college, when, you know, your mother and your father was, or your mother was on drugs. So, man, that's resilience right there. But
was you a first generation college graduate?
Yep. First generation, man.
That's what's up.
You got to have a vehicle, man. And just so happened, man, education and sports, man, that was my vehicle out.
Saving grace, boy.
Yeah, I haven't looked back since.
Dirt. It was hard to. It was always a little residue. I always carried me a little bag of residue.
Yeah, that's the young
every
and dumb.
level. College.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Still doing
Yeah.
goofy stuff, but you know what I mean? The grace of God, man, able to navigate through there. But you know, I think at the end of the day, man, it's really understanding, like, you know, why us? You know what I mean? Like, we ain't do nothing special. So it's like, we got to give back. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that these kids can know. You know what I mean? Like, you look, and you might see the podcast, or you might hear us on the radio, but I grew up on Ellsworth and Livingston.
Right.
Like, we're like, same situation you in. I grew up in that. So if I can do it and I ain't nobody, then you definitely could do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to, man. They got to see something like that.
Yeah, they do, though.
That inspires them, you know, because a lot of kids are in our situations that we used to be in.
Yeah.
Me and Reese did a Yes You Can tour around the city, at the city schools. And, man, at the schools, we were really telling them our experiences. And we was asking them, man, stand up if your light's ever been cut off. They start standing up. Stand up if your mom or dad was on drugs. People start standing up. Teachers crying everywhere. You know what I mean? So I often say, man, that, you know, God made us a symbol and a sign to let them know that they can make it out if we made it out. You know what I mean? So it's just inspiring these youth, man. It's all about that. You know.
Talk about, you know, faith. You know, obviously, you know, you gave your life over to Christ. You know, what was that experience like? You know, what I guess catapulted you to, you know, want to make that move and make that change to start bettering your life?
I think, man, you know, for me, man, I'm in college. I'm in Cali at the time, hooping. You know what I mean? I'm in college, and he was at Akron, and we talk every day, all through college, every single day. And man, he had gave his life to Christ. So I'm on the phone. I'm still wild though. I'm off the leash still. And man, he on the phone. You know, I'm telling him like, man, I got some of my people coming home with me. You know what I mean? For spring break, they coming from Cali, coming home. You know what I mean? They just want to come home with me. Some of my roommates. I'm like, and I done already told them about you. Like, this is my right hand. So
he bragging about how wild I was.
Like, man, my people wild.
I know
like,
it. I know.
We in the trenches. Like, man, wait till I meet my man.
You better pull up though.
Hey, so he
pull with that Bible.
Right.
So hey,
Oh, y'all getting saved
Right.
tonight.
everybody. He called. So I call him like, hey, what's up? And be home in like 2 weeks. I got my people coming with me. Already told him, man, you off the chain. We kicking it. All that. He like, yeah, man.
I felt a little bad.
Man, you know, I ain't doing that no more. I'm like, what you mean? Man, you know, I gave my life to Christ and that. But at this moment, I'm a filthy sinner. I can't even comprehend, like,
Right.
like what does that even mean?
It's almost surreal.
Gave your life to Christ?
Right.
Like, what are you telling me, bro? I got my people.
Yeah.
We lit. I ain't trying to hear none of that. So I'm on the phone literally saying it like, man, I ain't trying to hear all that, bro. Like, what? Because I didn't really know the magnitude to what he did. I didn't know. He, like, surrendered his life for real. It's over with.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm catching wind of it. You know, my mom, now they calling me like, you heard about Rick? Because, you know, we was two peas in a pod. So it's almost like he did it. Now they looking at me like, what you going to do? You know what I mean?
Like that little brother and the big brother effect. Like,
Right.
my brother go up and the little brother like,
Right.
I guess I'll go too.
Right. That's exactly how it was.
And I think I really like went the opposite, man. Just a little devil. You know what I mean? He did that and they praising that. And I got worse almost. Like, just
rebellious.
To prove like, bro, I'm my own man. I ain't following nothing.
Right.
Like, I'm still doing what I do. That's still my God.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I still fully just didn't understand like the concept. So I came home and man, for real, he had fully like surrendered his life, changed, none of the stuff we doing. So man, I'm like, you know what I mean? Just kind of keeping a close eye on him, but not really letting him know. But I'm studying like, what happened to you? Like I don't understand for real. And it's messing with my mind. Like,
yeah, used to be.
Yeah, like
it felt like just yesterday.
Yeah,
he was out here.
It was
And
crazy.
so it's like,
it was like cold turkey with me. You know,
it was like somebody died for real. It was like the person I knew. Like where is he?
A true died of self.
Like he gone. Like I don't even know you. Like you wear suits and go to church, bro. You singing gospel songs. Like, man, who are you? We used to be at the CNS and at the we at the club.
It was just a true conversion,
so
man.
it was like confusing
That's
to
crazy.
me. You know what I mean? And then at that moment, because this was my norm, now I'm trying to find my new normal, like on my own. So now I'm selling dope. I'm diving into I'm off the chain now at this point. And man, just the more I kept hanging around, man, he really was being wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. So he was doing little stuff, man, that was really quietly winning me to Christ without being overbearing or aggressive. And man, one day, you know what I mean, he was like, "You wanna, man, you should come to church with me." You know what I mean? And I went to church with him, and you know what I mean. I'm sitting there, and I was kind of just trying to get into the lane he was in, but my heart wasn't really surrendered to it for real. And I'm like, you know, went back to the streets. And then one night my mom had to preach at a storefront church. So he like, what's up? Let's go hear her preach. I'm like, cool, I'll go. And man, little did I know, man, but that was gonna be the beginning of the end. You know what I mean? The preacher called me up for prayer. Like God said, tonight your night. But I'm really a sinner. Like, what you mean? And man, I surrendered it all. You know what I mean? That night. And man,
it was over.
Life ain't been the same, you know what I mean, since.
Yeah.
But it was like really truthfully though, you know what I mean, his conversion.
No. Elaborate on that, because you do have some that convert, right? They come over to the Christianity, they start really diving in, really believing, you know, on fire. You know, most people go through that fire piece, you know, man, everything they cut everything off. We good. But then for most people, at least for myself, at least at the beginning, it faded away. What like advice you got to anybody that, you know, in that season right now, you know what I mean? Because I feel like, you know, with technology and the way things are, church is so much more visible. I feel like God's more visible, right? And that's the positive in looking at it. Like, this is a good thing, You used to have to force people to try to get into church doors. Now it's like, nah, get that, being a bedside Baptist ain't necessarily a bad thing as long as you still tapped in. How do you navigate that space, that in between? And what did y'all do to make it stick to where the fire didn't just burn out?
Man, I'll answer just a little bit of it, man. When we first gave our life to Christ, man, and we was on fire, I think it was important for us to immerse ourselves in an environment, so we can get the seeds and get planted and get his word in us. So I believe that's what helped us, man. We got grounded. We got some foundation laid while we was on fire. So when we really wasn't feeling it,
right,
we couldn't really stray too far because it was already in us. So I think it's important, man, for you got to get that word in you because that word is a sustainer. And that's what happened with us, man. We were so curious about what is this thing now that we're doing. What are they talking about? Ezekiel and Ephesians and Genesis and the Godhead. So we were so inquisitive that it made us study. And then while we were studying, man, we really was like getting the vitamins and the minerals of the word. And it caused us to really grow spiritually. And when we looked up after being hungry and just feeding ourselves, like we saw ourselves maturing a little bit, And that's what happened to me. I started teaching before I even knew I was a teacher. Because I was in that word so much. So, I would tell anybody, you got to try to tap into that word. And it's important for us to get around, your environment got to be conducive for your growth. If you around somebody that can really disciple you, because that's the name of the gospel, you got to be discipled. Because when you disciple, then you become a discipler. And you disciple, that's the whole thing. So, I think there was the Apostle Paul who said it, man, when you needed to be a teacher, you still needed to be taught. So we gotta immerse ourselves in the word. And I know it ain't always easy, but get around some brothers, man. It'll get you hungry. Like, Reese, when my wick was burning out, he was on fire. And then I'm looking at him and then I'm like, I catch back on fire. His wick burning out. Now that's why it's always good to walk together. You know what I mean? And that's what we did even with City of Grace, man. 2 is better than 1. And that's in the scripture. Ecclesiastes talks about 2 is better than 1 as well. So that's just my little 2 cents. Reese, go ahead and add yours.
I think that's it, man. You're really piggybacking off of that. For me, I just think it's who you surround yourself around. Like, you know what I mean? I think sometimes we get in church, and depending on what you're coming out of, or where you choose to go to church, it might be new. You might not know nobody there, and so you just, you're trying to find friendly people and this and that, and you could connect yourself. And everybody ain't necessarily in that building, chasing God. Everybody not really diving in that word. Everybody ain't really spending time in prayer. Everybody ain't willing to disciple, and everybody don't want to be discipled. You know what I mean? So you really got to really check, man, early. When you just getting saved, man, you really need to be around some people that genuinely, like, man, care about seeing you grow. And so I feel like for me, like him and Mike, they was already saved. So when I came, it wasn't like, they really cared about seeing me grow and like, not look at this text and look at this scripture. This mean that, this means this. Literally, really breaking it down. So I'm really like blown away. Like, I got understanding. I'm really gaining understanding. And the more I gained understanding, like the more I felt planted in what it is I'm doing. And the same way, like when you're in the streets, like you had an understanding of how to move and whatnot, so you really felt planted. Like, man, what you gonna tell me? This is my clique. This is who I'm running with. This is the side of town I'm from. Because I got an understanding about where I'm from the South Side. I understand these neighborhoods and these streets and what we into and what we're a part of. And it's like the same way you need to be that way in the gospel. When you got an understanding, you start to stand. I don't care who leave. I don't care who fold, who fall, what scandal. I'm still standing for the faith because I got an understanding. But it take getting around some people that can walk you to that place where you're like, oh, I get it. And so for me, man, that really was like huge for me. And to have some people around that's solid, you know what I mean?
And just listening to you, really, man, that's the pivotal moment when somebody's a babe in Christ. It's important for us to huddle around them, disciple them, because I often always say, if someone come into the church, they get their life to Christ, and nobody ever, care about them or talk to them, or they just become an unproductive church member. That's all they become if they never disciple. You know what I mean?
And then slowly but surely, you'll be back into what you was into. Yeah. There's no way that you're not. There's no way that I don't care how much it's gonna be hard.
There. So there was a motivational speaker I was listening to. Man, every time I bring the story, I always forget his name, but I'm gonna text it to y'all because y'all ministers and pastors, I would love to get y'all's perspective on it. He talked about how he was giving a speech at like this conference, it looked like hundreds of thousands of people at this kind of big name. And somebody, like, you know how people can submit questions to the whole event and they'll read questions. Mm-hmm. One of the questions that kept coming up was, what's a daily read that you read every day that has shown the most dividends in your life? Far as from a financial, he's obviously a finance guy. He's a financial well coach. Mm-hmm. He said, a lot of y'all are not going to believe this. It's going to sound cliche. He said, but you don't have to be a believer in Christ to understand that the Bible holds all the principles to living a well life. It kind of messed me up a little bit because I was like, hold on, we using Bible as a self-help guide, right. You know what I mean, and not to get closer to Christ. Yeah. And so what dawned on me, I was talking about my wife about this in the kitchen yesterday. I was like, I'm thinking I'm trying to really digest this, Yeah. You can really pick up the Bible and treat it like a self-help me book and take the principles, kingdom principles, out, live those principles and not have no encounter or no relationship with Christ and not get closer, because that's how I took it. I took it as a non-believer, you don't have to read the Bible to be a believer. You read I read the Bible and I'm literally going to the principles and the key foundations that are in the Bible and I live by those. The Bible talks about give. Yeah,
it should be given back to you.
Exactly.
Good measure, pressed down, shaken together. Right, so me give it to your bosom. Right.
So taking that and taking it out of the context of whatever the biblical context is for these scriptures, but using it literally as the Bible says give, and I will get back. Almost like my cup will runneth over if I give. Yeah. So why would I not give?
Right.
Like that, Pete, the word he used, and I'd say this rubbed me wrong. Not rubbed me wrong, it's just rubbed me in a way where I was like, dang, I just don't know how to feel about this. Like you watch a Family Guy and they make a Jesus joke
Right.
Lord, I love Family Guy though. Right. But it's just jokes. Right. But he said you could take the principles and you will use them as if, man, it was literally just on the tip of my head. But basically just you can extract principles out the Bible and not convert. And you can do all these things. And almost this is just like God, and I wouldn't even, this is the thing, he didn't say God. He just said there's universal laws of reciprocity, that just happen. Those universal laws are going to happen whether or not you're a believer or not a believer. He was like, I know millions. He said, I got plenty of millionaire buddies. Wow. None of them believe in Jesus. Right. But guess what? They read the Bible daily. Right. How do you how do you do that? You know what I mean? How do you read the Bible and not get connected to God? Because it says the Holy Spirit brings all things back to remembrance. Right. And I would think if you're diving into a spiritual word, that your spirit's being fed whether or not you're a believer or not. But if your spirit's being fed, then you're a believer. Right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a long, that's why I was I said when they come here, I got asked for this question, but I don't know.
That's a good question for real. And I look at things I can't say that God, the dude that whoever you're speaking to was.
I didn't speak to him. I was listening to a motivational. I was listening to him speak.
Because there is principles in the Bible, and the Bible do say this: He reigns on the just as well as the unjust, And there is like laws and principles, just like gravity, man. Anybody jump, they coming down. You know, sowing and reaping. You know, if you're a farmer, you sow something, you reap. These is law. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there is principles in the Bible. There's sinners and people that don't believe. Some people pay tithes. I've heard of that too.
Like literally,
And look at
he said that. He said my million. He said I got friends that literally they don't belong to a church. And they don't give to, and sometimes they may not just give to a church. They may give to an organization.
Yeah.
They may give to a hospital, donate millions of dollars. Yeah. No matter what, they're considering that they're offering.
Right. The question then has to become, do I have to be saved for these principles to work in my life?
Maybe that's the question.
Do I have to be saved for these principles, these biblical principles to work in my life? That's what the question is right there.
Yeah, I think that's the question.
I don't think so. I don't think you have to.
You don't have to be saved in order for the principles.
Because I think it's belief. Like you believe, right?
I feel like I know the answer. Let me play devil's advocate.
Not even like I believe in Jesus. I believe in this principle that if I give, it's coming back to me. So you know what I mean? Like I might not be a believer in,
and that's like activating faith.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly what it
like,
is.
So faith is not just a spiritual tie. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I'm like I'm trying to untwist.
Yeah.
The little screw thing to get the bread open. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm trying to understand.
I saw a guy that hit the lottery, crazy hundreds of millions of dollars, and so I'm watching him on like Good Morning America, or he was on one of them shows or something, and he was taught, and he ain't a believer. He don't even go to church. So but he said on there, like, you know, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pay 10% to like 4 different churches. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he don't even go to church, but he obviously felt like I got this wealth, and giving, sowing it's gonna benefit me as well as, you know what I mean? So even though he don't go to church, he ain't got no pastor, he ain't got nothing, he was going to pick 4 churches to tithe that, because somewhere in his life, he believes you should give. So,
like,
to
is that a talk?
church.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, is that, like, you know, because the one thing I feel like you don't want to, I feel like it could be misleading. If I'm not in the faith, you trying to tell me I can have everything that you have in the faith if I just believe in these core principles? I don't have to have a tie to the God that you get. So that means that the principles are blessing me, not God?
Well, there's people, man, to me, that I'm trying to answer this. Like, okay, I'm not saved, but can I reap from these principles that the Bible is teaching? And then you just asked the question, so I don't have to be saved, or you just asked the question, but they can't get everything that we can get. And why I say this is because, so if they're not accepting the way to salvation, you might have those principles, but if you're not, you know, there's only one way, you know what I mean? And if you're not believing and accepting him, how the Bible says that you are to be saved, then you can't have that, you know what I mean? But I believe, you know, the principles, the Bible says he reign on the just as well as the unjust. And these principles, we know these principles. We know these laws and this stuff, you know, this stuff works. It works. And this is what we believe in. This is what we do.
He also says, what did he say in the Bible? The riches of...
The wealth of the rich. What you talking about?
The riches, like you know, like...
The wealth of the wicked are stored up for the righteous.
Yeah,
the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Yeah. Yep. That's definitely word right there.
You know what I mean? So, and then, you know, it goes to, you know, I get to thinking even deeper, and I'm like, you know what? What we have to realize is that this world is so carnal, right? It's everything about it's carnal. We look at something, marijuana was put here. It's a herb that grows on the earth. I believe it was designed for a purpose. We took that, we rolled it up in cigarillos. We pervert everything that we try to. I feel like God put here, and I'm not saying, you know, I'm victim. You know what I mean? I'm not victim, but I'm a accuser of it too. You get what I'm saying? But still, like, you think about it, and it just makes me think, like, man, we really try to humanize Every single
I see what
thing,
you're saying.
whether it's spiritual,
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
whether it's something grown
Yeah.
here, we try to take it
Right.
and make it what we want it to be.
Right.
And so then it's like, okay, EJ, I was praying and God said, I have principles that everybody can use. But those principles only get you glory down here. Those that's connected to me get all of that plus after.
Come on now.
You get what I'm saying?
Come on,
And so
man.
then it started clicking. I wanted to get y'all's perspective on that. That was what I ultimately came down to, like, you know, and obviously, you know, I was in prayer, and that was what God just like spoke in my ear, like, as you can tell, it really had me wrapped up.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean? I'm over here.
Like, how is this man talking about biblical principles? He ain't saved. He talking about the.
You know what I mean? Like, he talking about you can take this and take this, because my thing is,
a lot of people take the principles from the Bible, man.
I heard a rap lyric, and the artist said, "Show me a religion where cheating on your wife is okay," and I switched to it. Right? You get what I'm saying? Man. If this is truth,
right?
And I'm not saying this for myself, but as somebody that's growing in faith, somebody that's being in faith, if they was to stumble across this, or somebody like Reese, that hear they friend, they jumping into a whole new gang with Jesus, and, you know, they trying to move, and I'm feeling a tug. But then it's like my friend's coming back to me. He's telling me this is what you're going to reap by benefiting with the Lord. I think that's the unsaid thing, is that your relationship with God is it's going to prosper you here, but it's for eternity. When you're not here. Eternity. You get what I'm saying? And, you know, it really, that helped settle my spirit, because it was like, all right, cool.
Right.
Like, I don't I was starting to feel some way about bro.
I understand that.
You gotta get off the YouTube. Hold up. Delete, unsubscribe. You know what I mean? Like, hold up. There's some things I can take. This is a little too far.
Right. Like, hold on,
you know what I'm saying? But then it was like, you gotta get don't judge them either, because, you know, man, I feel like the Lord is really like, look, man, somebody really tapped into my word for real. You can't get away from me. You know what I mean? You think about it, most people, like, if you are doing that, you just got to go to the Bible, take it out.
Right.
You might as well copy and paste. Put it in the notes, and don't go back to the Bible. Just keep referencing the principles, right?
Yeah, because, man, there's a lot of different scientists, bro, that got into the word to refute it and to, you know, discredit the word and end up giving their life to Christ after they studied it.
Really?
Man, I'm telling you, look that up. There's some scientists out here, man, that just got in there for that purpose, to discredit the Bible, but in the end, gave their life to Christ. So, like what you were saying, if you get in the word, it's hard for you not to tap in. You know what I mean? So
that's why I said it depends on how they really rightfully dividing it. Are they strictly only like, hey, I got 3 scriptures, man, you should check out, man. It's about prospering yourself.
Are they even calling it scriptures?
Right.
Because he didn't say scriptures.
True.
He said there's key principles.
True.
Principles are things that, it's like structure.
Yeah. Man, it's a lot of people that abstract principles from that word.
I mean, I think we do it every day. I think the common person does that daily.
Absolutely.
Because most of the time, you know, people are trying to find something to fit them, get them out of their right now situation, this, that, and you take that one scripture, but don't read the whole context of the whole chapter to understand how that should be utilized and used.
Right.
But I definitely agree with you. I definitely think that there's a lot of people out there, and I feel like after I got that, like, feeling,
you got it.
You know, I feel like God was like, he's not really perverting the word.
Right.
Because at the end, the guy said he's a believer.
Okay.
You know, he didn't let that out up front.
Yeah.
He did say he was a believer.
And sometimes they say that on purpose. They don't say they're a believer at first on purpose, just so it can be received by non-believers, because they speaking to an audience. They motivate, like Jim Rome. You know, this one guy I listen to, Jim Rome. I don't know if y'all familiar with him.
I'm not hit.
Jim Rome, man. You know, it's a guy, man. He's
worth plugging into.
Yeah, he's crazy, man. But he used a lot of the Bible principles and stories from the Bible. But he really don't. Sometimes he don't say it's from the Bible. He just say it's a good book. But I know what he's talking about. But he's a wealthy guy back in the day, Jim Rome, and he used a lot of biblical principles, man, when he's talking. So
really,
yeah. But honestly, I think he is a believer, though. He's gone now. He's a legend, though.
I feel like what I also realize is that no matter what, like, at the end of the day, like everybody's gonna do what they want to do with whatever they want to do with.
Right.
What are you gonna use it for? Right. And, you know, that was another thing that I got convicted of in my prayer was like, all right, bro, you over here like, what you about to switch up on me? You know, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm over here questioning God, like, hold up.
Right.
You trying to tell me I ain't gotta be all the way in?
Before we leave tonight, man, we're gonna ordain this dude.
Hold on.
You said rather hot or cold.
Right,
Lukewarm, I spit you out. You know what I mean? But like, you know, and I think it's just that carnal mind. It's that mindset of my life is not just for here. What happens when you gone? You know what I mean? Like, what happens when he come back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he calling the ones that's chosen as the ones that knew him.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? On up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that was just something I said, you know, I wanted to make sure I brought up to you guys because, you know, I thought y'all would have a good take on that. You know what I mean? And I think we definitely came down to it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
When y'all talk about families and faith, man, you know, how are y'all blending, you know, all three? Family, faith, profession. How does that work? Because, you know, I'm the type of person, man, you know, you ask my wife, she probably think I'm all over the place. You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like I am too, you know. It's hard when you're a grinder. It's hard when you're a hustler, you know, and that's just innate. It's built. It's in you. You know, you have that bone. But how do you guys, you know, you guys are seasoned vets. How do you guys navigate that world, and how have you guys navigate the world? Because you guys, like I said earlier, you guys took a break, you know? Like, I'm not sure if that had anything to do with lifestyle. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little bit.
It had a large part to do with it at that time because, you know, our kids was a lot younger. I think, you know, my son was in 7th grade at that time, my oldest son, and he played football. And so because of the radio, the time we was on the radio, it was like 3 to 7. And
Every day, 3 to 7.
Monday through Friday. And then like so
how long was we doing that, man? 3 to 7, prime time. Was it a year or something like that? Man, can you imagine that, man?
So I missed
7. Like no day off?
Man.
So I'm missing all his I couldn't go to no practices, no football games, no like you know what I mean? And so that was kind of like becoming a burden. One, because it's like, you know, he want me at his games. His problem is pops. He want me at the practices. I need to talk to the coach, and I just couldn't pull it off. And so I think that was the large part of us, you know, getting off the radio, man. But it, man, for real, man, I give my wife all the credit in the world because, truthfully, man, I'm pulled in 1,000 directions every day, whether like being a business owner, trying to be a father.
Because you got the cleaning company?
And trucking.
And trucking, okay.
Man, the youth pastor at the City of Great, like all these different demands, Rick and Reese show, and then still somehow trying to come home and be a husband and give her the attention and love. So really, man, for me, the only reason why I'm able to really like find any type of success, man, is because she give me the space to do it. Yeah. Without that, I'd probably be divorced if I tried to really maintain all this. But God graced her enough to be patient, to like understand, to fill in the hole. Baby, you know I can't. I'll go. I'll take care of that. Or I'll get him. I'll get him there, and then you meet us there. And she's just willing to, you know what I mean, work with me every step of the way. So 100%, man. I always credit, man. My wife makes my situation go for real.
Man, you know, man, how I balance it, I've learned over the years, man, to incorporate my wife in certain things that I do. You know, we got the marriage ministry together at the church. She enjoys that. We've been doing short clips on social media. So
I've been seeing those.
Yeah, so she loving that. Yeah. So she loving it, and we teaching because we felt like it's a need. You know, married couples, man. So it's a need, man. So, you know, I try to find a way to incorporate my wife so we can be doing that together. My daughters, they play basketball. We enjoy going there together. And then, you know, when we want time alone, man, we, you know, vacation or, you know, we might go stay at a hotel somewhere.
Just a staycation.
Yeah, you already know. Just to, you know, just do that. So, but, you know, pastoring, man, that really was a lot. You know, I mean, just trying to build City of Grace, and that was a lot for us at first. But now, you know, we kind of settled in. We know what to do, and So I think, man, how I really balance all of that family and all that, I really incorporate her a little more than I used to. So that kind of helped me out. And everything I do, honestly, is, for purpose and for my family, for real.
Right.
So.
I mean, working on your own personal brand and getting things tight on your end.
Absolutely. It's legacy, man.
It's bigger than you, situation. That's one of the things I'm always telling my wife, like, look, we work hard. My wife is like total opposite as far as like, not like she's a creative, but like not in this space, like I am. She loves seeing the stuff I do. She even came on the director's den.
Okay.
So, but I think that's like one of the things that, I feel like I probably could do a little bit better on is having her included with some stuff she don't want to be included.
Yeah.
But like I told her last year, I was like, yeah, we should start doing a marriage podcast at the crib.
Oh, that'd be dope.
And we have to do it.
Yeah,
she brought it up on the pod.
Okay.
So we're supposed to be
right. That's what my wife said to me.
I feel like for me, sometimes, I believe timing is everything too.
Absolutely.
So I try not to rush certain things, and then sometimes I know me, I could put myself in like a million different pockets, right? Like you over here doing basketball, you running headshots, you over there trying to help this guy with his brand, help this guy his brand. You running a podcast.
You sound like us, man.
You shooting twice a week. You know what I mean? And on top of it, you got kids and marriage, first ministry. You know what I'm saying? Things that you gotta take care of. Like for example, like before y'all even got over here, my youngin, we got back from training camp. I stopped and got him some McDonald's. And, he scarfing it down, threw it up. You know what I mean? It's like right before, I think it was like 30. I was like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm trying to do better. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get better at that. Like just,
It's like prioritize. You gotta reprioritize sometimes.
But I feel like I'm my biggest critic. I'm my biggest problem, because I could have a clean schedule, and then next thing you know, it's like, oh yeah, I'm about to go link up with such I'm about to go do this, I'm about to go do this. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, And so my wife does an amazing job at supporting me. I think that I can do a better job at balancing. But it comes with the grind too. I think that's one of the things my wife gives me, that space.
That's good.
To be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I could be upstairs laying in bed with her.
Right.
She like, you got two bros coming over, you know what I mean? Y'all about to be all in the basement kicking it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then you doing this multiple times a week, bringing people into our home and stuff like that. It's been a little bit of a change, you know what I mean? But, nevertheless, like my number one supporter, I definitely credit a lot of the stuff that I do,
That's what's up.
to my family, because like you said, you trying to leave a legacy. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Like I don't want KFC images to die when I'm done. I don't want the directors then to die when I'm done.
See, that's Bible right there. Leaving legacy, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm trying to have something for, my sons, my kids can, eat on or, look back and remember, like, it might die, right? And somebody might go back and be like, dang, great daddy.
Right.
I mean, I submitted my saliva. They said we connected to a dude that did
He was a creator, man.
I wonder why I like these cameras so much.
Your grandfather was a creator.
You know what I'm saying? But that's all legacy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
I think once we realize that, the nice thing about faith and family is it forces you to understand that my life ain't my own. And so, that's one of the another things that I try to really posture myself in. Like my life's not my own. So even when I am doing stuff for other people, I try to make sure that it's definitely beneficial to their brand and that I'm not reaping, like I know I'm going to get what I feel like God wants my portion to be. But like, it's not about me at this moment. It's about boom, and getting them to
serving
a certain
others.
point. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't really understand that. What's one thing that y'all feel like, in the city we could do better as, man? Just as a unit, as a collective, as creatives, and as African Americans?
I think, man, like you said, man, collaborating. Like, I know obviously we go to City of Grace and we got two pastors, I call it a two-headed monster. And that's really kind of out the box, like for our city. If you look, it's, it's
Man, y'all went to 3 services.
so,
We
man, you know what I mean.
keep going. Keep going, 'cause y'all. Hey, City of Grace. Shout out to Pastor Mike Young, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
shout
doing
out
some
to
amazing
Mike, man.
things,
Yeah,
dude.
God is good, man. God
But
is
man,
good.
I think collaborating, man, like understanding, man, that concept and how you can really flourish with it. And like, I take my hat off to Rick and Mike, Pastor Rick and Pastor Mike. Because
we on the
because-
pod,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's our reason.
Right.
Quick. Right.
I told them when we meet in church, don't be tight. Ain't doing all that pastor.
Right.
But man, like, you got to humble yourself, man, when it comes to collaborating, because you might have the ability to have a space, man, where you can get a castle. But if you're willing to humble yourself and, man, come in a room with another person that could have been king of the castle and another person that what y'all about to put together is so much greater than what you would have did, man, standing on an island by yourself. And so, man, I really just look at the selflessness of both of them and how God is really able to breathe on that model. And so I look at everything now, like, I don't care if it's business, I don't care what it is. We can go further together. See, I might got 10,000, but if I click up with you and your 10, we about to go do something with 20,000.
What they say in that song, I'm good all by myself.
Yeah,
but I'm a force when we together.
That's it right there.
You know what I mean?
That's
So I
it.
think the city, man, like, I think they can reap. Like, look at this. Man, you ain't had to have us on your podcast, because we got our own podcast, and we might look at each other like, I ain't going on his, or I ain't having him on mine, or when it's like, that ain't the wave. Listen, we coming on yours, let's rock. Then we gonna have you on ours, let's rock.
You know what's so crazy is that I feel like now that I'm in this space, we in overtime.
Okay.
Now that I'm in this space, I feel like this is the one space where I've seen more people say, yeah, like no hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on the pods, because it's really like your control space. You get what I'm saying? And so I feel like one of the things that stops a lot of people from really working together is control, right? Most people, they just can't submit themselves under another leadership. They can't come to the table and say, well, these are your strong suits, these are your strong suits, these are your strong suits, just like they do in the business corporate world, and say, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do, and be okay with it.
Absolutely.
Like, and you know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is that space, though. And so that's the whole reason why I wanted to create the Directors Den, was to get, to have a space where other creatives can come and we could talk about being better and being together and the importance of that. Because I feel like, man, literally, if we do that, bro, we already, like, the city of Columbus is already, like, it's already a smart city. It's already one of the biggest art cities in the country. You know what I mean? We got things here, people from Ohio that are important, right? Like, why are we not having these people on these platforms? Why are we not supporting each other? You know what I mean? This is my way to be able to give y'all flowers. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that don't happen enough. You know what I mean? You don't get a lot of people that will just bring. Look, man, I just want to give you your flowers, man. Y'all dope. You know what I mean? Y'all doing y'all's thing. Continue rocking. Continue going. And to be able to talk about common stuff. I don't want this to be our first and last conversation.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a revolving circle. I come on y'all's pod, we get to talking. You know what I mean? Like it's the more information I share, the better we are. You know what I'm saying?
So that collaboration piece, bro, that's
it is, man.
And you know what? I will speak to this on collaboration, man. You got to know what a collaboration is. See, so many people think they have a collaborative effort, but it's not no collaboration because it's only one person controlling everything. And y'all calling it a collaboration, but it's not really a collaboration. If I can't speak in the room, if I can't give my opinion, if I can't give my advice and it's accepted or we do whatever, if it's only one person still controlling that room, that's not a collaboration. And that's what people got to realize, because they calling that a collaboration, but that's not a collaboration. I'm glad you said that,
bro. Man. I'm really happy you said that, because I think a lot of people don't really understand that. That's like they think collaborating is me saying, you do this, you do that, you do this. No, you never asked me how I thought about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why you just think that you just gonna point the finger and I'm just ain't nobody Lassie around here.
Right. Come
Ain't
on.
throwing no frisbees. You know what I mean? And I'm not jumping up in the air catching one.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where that divide starts coming because people just can't get over just giving direction. I feel like we can all have sound direction. I told Des Arnaz, I said, bro, it would be dope, bro, just to get every podcast in the city to come together.
Yeah, that's dope.
Bro, you don't know how many other production companies are. We got production companies out the butt. Like, we bring a lot of cameras, bro.
Right.
A lot of lights. Bro, and really do up. Like, y'all talking about doing a town hall. Let's do it.
Man,
let's talk about gun violence in the city. Let's talk about all these topics that need to be talked about, and we can give them. And now think about that collaboration with IG. I don't even think you can collaborate with that many people.
Yeah, that's
it
crazy.
might be somebody still sorry.
Right.
Y'all ain't tagged me. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's just I think that's critical, bro. I'm really glad you said that because I think you start, and y'all see it firsthand. Y'all group,
right?
I see it's me and Kim. You know what I mean? But I feel like with me and Kim, our dynamics different. Because I feel like he knew. Like, I'm going to tag along. And I told him this on the last episode we just had Sunday. I said, bro, I probably wouldn't have got started without you, for real. Because you my guy. But he also came into an understanding, this is E's baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know he just need a little bit more affirmation and somebody to rock with him. That's why he don't show up at every interview. You know what I mean? He show up at some, the ones he can.
Right.
But having structure in place makes that happen. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just hit him up last minute. Hey, we got this Rick and Reese coming. No.
Right.
We got calendar invites that got on there. Like, you going to get that months in the...
See, that's
you get
what
I'm saying? And knowing how to work together. When you have multiple people in a group, I swear it tends to just always be one person feeling like they run the group.
Yeah. See, man, you really gotta honor and respect the gift in the other person. Like I think that's one reason why City of Grace works, man. When you really see us behind closed doors, it's like, what you think about this? So if I disagree with Pastor Mike, if I disagree with Reese, and I'm like, man, I really don't agree with that, but we gonna do it your way, and we gonna come out of this room like we all came together, and we're gonna work this game together. So
and we'll figure it out together.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely,
bro. You ain't alone.
Absolutely.
If it don't work, we ain't gonna sing you out.
I told
either.
you so.
We ain't none of that. Like, bro, we fell together. Let's just
your baby is my baby.
Told him it wasn't gonna work. He ain't want to listen.
Right.
None of that. It's a lot of that.
Yeah,
bro.
man. Yeah.
And so it's so crazy because I almost didn't want to do a group, but it was like. I love, like, the point of doing this pod is to bring people together. Yeah. And learning how to work together. Right. I'm not going to like everything you do. Absolutely. The way you do it. Absolutely. That's okay. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not here. It's just like marriage. I'm not here to change my wife.
Yeah.
I'm here to be compatible to her, to help grow her and elevate her. If I'm not growing and elevating, then... Why you looking to try to change anything anyway? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's 100%.
Man, it's been a great conversation, man. I'm definitely glad y'all came.
And we appreciate you, man, for real.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I wanted to make sure y'all definitely understand, bro. The city see y'all. Everything y'all doing at City of Grace, it's all getting seen. You know what I mean? And most importantly, it's getting seen by the one that matters.
Come on,
that's what
you get what I'm saying. And whether or not people like it or not.
Right.
God's on the agenda. You know what I mean? Go ahead, shout out y'all's IGs, the show, what y'all got coming next.
Man, we got they can follow us on Instagram. It's Rick and Reese. Facebook is Rick and Reese Media Group.
Hey, say that with a little more energy, though, man.
Let me
that's cool, Reese. That's cool, Reese.
He sounded a little
sleepy. Yeah. When you talking about Rick and Reese, the brand, you gotta get a little more.
I'm on the couch.
Hey, now,
couch
I told him
you didn't tell him about the couch.
He
told him about the couch.
He told me the chair might put me in a little space.
We got him on 4K on the slider going to sleep.
Right.
Hey. Make sure y'all tap in, man. Instagram is Rick and Reese. Go to Facebook is Rick and Reese Media Group. Go to YouTube, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to that YouTube channel. Just type in Rick and Reese TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe. Don't just go there and watch the podcast. Hit that subscribe button before you do anything else.
Please.
And, man, April 20th, man, we got the HBCU Classic. So we doing a live podcast with a live studio audience, man, from the shot.
That's
the
about
Rick
to
and
be
Reese
lit.
show, April
From the
20th,
shot,
live
hey.
from the shop. And I'm going to drop this, man. We got Trey Burke, you know what I mean, NBA, straight here from Columbus. He wanted a guest. George Howard, man, another one. That's another one of our guests.
Oh, Coach
And,
Howard.
Yeah, we got Coach Howard coming on.
They gonna be
And
live.
man, it's gonna be live, man. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. And we got, something else. I just don't think we can let that
I don't
cat
know
out
if
the
we can let
bag
that
yet,
out.
man. So we're gonna wait. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to come back on and talk about it. But we got something big in the tuck, man.
I was wondering if you was gonna mention.
Nah,
it.
I just don't think
I was gonna let you. Hey, I was sitting on the sideline. I'm gonna let him do
allowed
it.
to release it, man. Yet, and I don't
Right.
wanna cause no.
Oh,
no
we'll get the
issues,
director the
man.
exclusive.
right.
They robbing us,
Oh,
y'all. They
Hey,
robbing
Don't do
us.
it. Hey, my wife calling me, man. Listen, we in the director then a little late. My wife calling me, babe. I promise. She talking about some get home, babe. I promise you I'm with my guy EJ.
I'm about to send him
nah,
home. I'm about to
nah,
send
it's
him
all
home.
good, babe. I'm gonna call you back, babe. You want to say something? You on the director's den? You say okay. That's all you want to say? Nah,
But
man.
yeah, man, it'll be coming through the pipeline. We're gonna plug back in with you, man. We're gonna make sure we're gonna let it be a director's den exclusive. Man. We're gonna plug back in when we able to
Man,
release
we gotta
it.
do it, man.
Yeah,
Do
and
it
we
big.
gotta
You
get
know
you
what I
on a
mean?
Rick and Reese show, man.
Yeah, that's
Well, you
mandatory.
already know.
Come
I'm,
on, man.
I'm
That's
down for
mandatory.
it, man.
Man, absolutely,
I'm down for
man.
it, man. Like I said, man, it's been a pleasure just having you on, man. I
Man,
think
we
I think
appreciate
a lot of
it,
people
man.
gonna grow from this conversation, man.
Man, I appreciate
And we
you,
definitely
man.
got to bring y'all back on.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. E.
Yo, we definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. You already know. It's your boy Eddie Jackson. Go follow us, man. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Like my man Reese said, isn't like I get it. Like I love that y'all watching. But like, subscribe to the channel, man. That's the only way to stay up to date on everything that's coming your way. This is episode 11 with the Rick and Reese show. We
Let's-
out.
Lego!
I didn't know y'all was gonna do that. I didn't know y'all did that. Yes, sir, man.